stimulate here. You have a lot of flower buds here. Okay. And you have plenty of flower buds here. Plenty of flower buds. It's probably too many. Okay, here the same. Here I would suggest stimulate this one. You have flower buds here, here, here. Okay, now we have the bad boys. You see, I would say, but I think everybody of you would say there are mostly, okay, let's remove this water sprout here. There are 3 branches that are disturbing our tree. They are disturbing, okay? It's like eating a nice whatever rice and butter chicken, but somebody else is stealing you stuff from your plate. The same here. This one, and this one. So we cannot remove them all in 1 year. I mean, we can do it, but that's a little bit heavy metal, in my opinion. So we can try to do it like reduce it once a little bit here, okay? Then let's try this. Let's stimulate here. We have stimulation here, here, here. By removing it here, I remove apples and I have nothing. Here I keep a little bit of a shape. I stimulate here. I give him a chance to develop something nice. I will crop some apples here next year, and then I will decide maybe some nice branches coming out here. I will cut here the next year. Maybe something nice and nice. I will cut here. Let's see what's developing, okay? So this one I will also stimulate here. As well. And then this boy. Okay. And let's see what's developing. Then let's move a little bit upper. So I will keep this, some nice buds as well here. I will try to stimulate this. This is making competition. And I would like half the tip. So, because it's not reaching, so I would go down a little bit. Like cut it here. Cut it here. Okay? So I'm not seeing it from the other side, so it's always better to prune on this side and colleague on the other side, so it's easier to see the tree, because maybe I see it in the wrong way, but okay, I missed this, for instance. See it now? Okay. Okay, so more or less, okay, this is as well. I try to give him a little bit of shape. We have not done heavy metal cutting, so we could have taken out these as well, but this means like probably 3-4 kgs of apples less. So let's keep them. Let's see how they. I always like to give a second chance to big branches, how they develop. I mean, we have all the time. It's not that we have 1,000 hectares, okay? So we have all the time to do it.
How many apples we should keep in this tree?
I would say you can, it depends always how is the growth next year, okay? But if you have, let's assume all is good, a nice growth, I would say here we are going into the 4th crop, 5th leaf. So I would say roughly 50 apples, 50 to 50, 60, it depends. Because if I say 60, but then it's 50, I mean, it can be in this range, approximately 10 kgs per tree, but always keeping 2 apples per cluster, 1, 2, 1, 2. And in the upper part, if you have really big apples, you can keep 3 apples in 1 cluster. Because at the end of the day, you need to make big apples, because for big and colored apples, you get money, like everywhere in the world. For small apples, and with low color you're not getting more. So that's always the primary goal. It's better to remove 5 apples more from a tree but have a better quality than making 70 apples, because you can easily crop 70 apples here, but then you make small plums instead of nice dark Perongala. Okay?
What is the best time to do thinning?
Thinning, hand thinning.
Yeah.
So according to your climate here, you're a little bit earlier. I would say somewhere between end of April, beginning mid of May, because you're
Is
earlier
it at the
than
flowering
me.
stage you begin, or is
Sorry?
Is it at the flowering stage?
No.
Then,
You can do, yeah. So the first thinning is the pruning, because you're removing buds. Then
Right.
you can do chemical thinnings. You have different techniques available, different products.
We
from
all do manual, I
ATS.
think.
Yes, and then you can do the manual thinning. We normally suggest to do it once the apples are around 25, 30 mm. Okay. Then in certain parts of the world you have a naturally June fall. I don't know how important June fall is here with monsoon and this, but always keep in mind then apples, sometimes they look nice, but then you cut the apple with a small knife and you see inside the seeds are not nice, and this will drop, okay? But again, once the apples are like 25, 30 mm big, you easily, and the workers can recognize, okay, one is big, one is small, remove the small, okay? 2 nice and homogeneous big, keep it. 3 and 1 is very small, take off the small. It's a good period of understanding, okay, this will always remain smaller and the others will grow and become nice apples. So, Kunal, I think
Maybe we can do this one because this is like a more.
yeah, but I think it's May here, mid-May, hand thinning, 25, 30 mm.
But some fruit drops on its own.
Yeah, we were just talking
We
about that.
don't know. We should have used it.
Okay, let's move over here. So also this is, it's not a bad tree, but you see also here there are 2, 3 sprouts that are really making some noises. Okay, move this. I just remove it now as first, so you see how the shape of a tree is immediately changing by removing these bad boys. See, it's another tree right now. It is always important also that the neighbor tree should not invade the space of the tree, because, I mean, this has to grow 25, 30 centimeters, this one, and the same in the other direction. So there should be a little bit of space which will fill up every year and then pruned again. Okay, so now it looks much better. Here you can also see immediately overlapping. This is something we don't really like, okay? So here we can do 2 decisions. Or we keep this one, because you see a lot of flower buds on this side, and here at the end of the story we have nothing, okay? So always try to give a direction. Camera shot. Try to do this. We can cut this, keep this. It's hard, it's tough because maybe you break it. It's really strong, huh? Yeah. Take off this one, yeah, exactly. And then stimulate. No. Just cut it 5-10 centimeters above the. This one stimulated, yeah. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and then maybe half of the yeah, exactly. Let it should be right. The rest we keep. Ah, perfect. Great. Okay. And again here in before buds at bud swallowing, you do a little bit of notching here. Okay. And then next year we will see. Next year we will see what's developing here. Yes, my father would tell me, "What is this?" He's right, but next year we crop some apples. We give him a chance, and then we will decide. Most probably we are going to take out this here next year. Okay.
Can we shorten this one?
This one?
Yeah.
I think we stimulated it. You can also go back here, okay? But it's just to keep some apples here.
No one I'm saying.
This?
Keep all of the three place.
No, this you can. It's on this side it's not looking. I need to go on the other side to see it better. Let me pass here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Look different here. Maybe also here. We will see. What was this?
Notching.
How was it done? No, this is very.
Chip.
You see, this is the wire, maybe. Yeah. This is really not looking nice, but again, let's see. It's better to cut here, lose 5 apples here, and then what? Let's make 5 apples here, so also your pocket is smiling, and next year we will see. But it's looking completely different. I mean, you have seen it before, these 3 big bad boys making noises, and now it's looking much different.
So worried about this? This is not a very bad boy, as you say.
Yeah,
It's more thicker than. the
I know,
leader.
I know, I know.
So won't it hinder the growth of the leader?
We can, no, it's not really, but we can cut it away. But then you give 300 rupees to Kunal for the 5 apples missing. We're gonna remove it 100%. But this is thick, but it's an open angle. It's different.
What about these 2 uprights here on this branch? These uprights.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Is it?
Many.
So here you can do this. Maybe also this. This is broken. Like this.
Do you see eyes also when you are supposed shortening this one?
Yeah.
So do you see the eye that where to cut from, or you cut it from anywhere?
What does it mean? No. I always look to keep the buds. Yeah. Now let's see if it was this. Maybe. Yeah, this was. You see. So I searched for a compromise that is not shortening back to, because if we shorten here again, then we can always cut it here almost. Huh? So at least cutting here means some buds here. Let's see. It's a strong branch. It can crop 4 or 5 apples here. So yeah, I'm looking for buds. It's not that I'm cutting blind. And then let's see what's coming out here, and then let's decide.
I was talking about any click for that matter.
I'm
If you
always.
put it here, where do you
Yeah.
put it?
I'm
You see the eye?
No.
Or
I have a bud here, not here. I stimulate here. I keep this. It's always. That's what we want. We cut. We have a reaction of like a fork, okay? And the year after we cut one and keep the other. So here again, we have a reaction, and we will see the year after what to do. Maybe we can come back here and stimulate again. And going back and forth. Then after 3-4 years, then probably you go back again and cut a thumb and restart. But you cannot do it on every branch. You have to do it on 2-3 this year, 2-3 next year. Exactly. Because if you cut back in 1 year on every branch, that means 0 apples. And by doing it 1 year every 2 years, you're always renewing your branches. You have always crop on your tree, and it's you know, back and forth. I mean, that's what we need. It's not pruning for years. In 1 year, heavily pruning turns out in no apples. That's what we should avoid. Even if we are like now taking over a new orchard from a neighbor, and it's a very, very, very vigorous orchard. In 1 year, you cannot prune it back. This will turn out in more vigor and no apples. So you try to go back in 2-3 years at least. It's the same in Italy when maybe your neighbor is old, he retires, he tells you, you want to rent my orchard, and he was an old style farmer. Yes, you take it over, but maybe it's very vigorous, very big, old traditional growing system. Then you have to go back year after year. Because if you go back immediately, that's a disaster. Huh? Probably you're facing the same problems here sometimes. So it needs time to adapt. The only nice thing is you plant a new, fresh M9 tree, then you can start from the beginning. But when you take over a 5, 8, 10-year-old orchard, you cannot do gas on a fire, right?
You mean if you do summer prunings for that matter, you can control these things.
Yes, we were talking with Kunal yesterday. So in very vigorous orchards, summer pruning means, I always say, like 2 weeks before harvest, 10 days before harvest, has multiple positive effects. Once, it's more color for the apples. Always pay attention on sunburn, do it maybe on cloudy days, but you have monsoon, so it should not be a big deal. You should have, especially in delicious varieties, less problems with bitter pit, because you know bitter pit, when you do calcium treatments, it's always going to the most transpiring organ, and when it's very hot, it's not the apple, but it's the leaf. So if you have a lot of vigor and you try to make this summer pruning, it helps. It's not magic, but it helps for bitter pit control. And from one day to the other day, you're removing leaves, lungs of the tree. That means if you do it today, the summer pruning, the day after, you have less photosynthesis, which will return again in like removing vigor of the tree. So I really would suggest very vigorous tree. If you have no time to do it before harvest, like to have also more light and better color, do it at least immediately after harvest, when the tree is still green. Because by removing green wood, you're having more weaker trees, okay? And if you prune in completely winter time, you're always you're calling for vigor, okay? That's the same for vineyards, it's the same for pears, it's the same for many different species. Then it always depends. You have sensitivity to pathogens, bacteria, like in cherries. If you do it in winter time, then you have open wounds the whole winter time, easy entrance for pathogens. If you're removing it in late autumn or before harvest time, you are like controlling vigor even more. So for very, very vigorous orchard, doing a summer pruning or a late autumn pruning is even better. Or at least you just remove some parts and then you refine in the winter time. Okay, so like in my orchards, especially on the bicolored apples, we do a lot of summer pruning. You have better coloration, you have easier harvest, okay, because you don't have all these water sprouts that are like stopping you at harvest time. So we do it, and then you do the refining in December, January, February in my
Manage
area.
the canopy as well by summer pruning.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what is the best way to control the top once you've reached where you needed to reach?
Yes.
So what's the best way to control that?
Okay, so first of all, if you have the top growing like crazy, means it's not a problem of the top, it's the problem of the farmer. So too much water, too much fertilizer, maybe you remove too many apples. So I would say that the best way to control a top is make him crop apples. Apples is a natural break of vigor. Then doing some pruning, so always prune it back every year. If it really starts growing, another option could be like, let's assume this is the top of the tree, okay? You could also like bend down the top as well. So, but I would say that's one of the last options we have, okay? But if you don't bend it like this, really bend it down like this. Now I broke it, but bend it down like this, because like this is not real bending, okay? This is important. And then try to make apples there, notching, make some nice branches. So you see, these are growth in 1 year, it's almost 1 meter, that's a lot. Okay, but again, here we try to cut it 10 centimeters above the wire, fix it on the wire, and hopefully we have a nice reaction below the wire of having some nice branches. And we have the time, we are small farmers here, we can do some notching to even help branching even more, and then let's see. But the time of notching is very important, because many farmers don't listen, they do it or too early or too late, but the result will be no effect, believe me, no. If you do it in the right time, where the buds are like, start to swell up, when you start seeing something green, then it's the right time. Swallowing up. Okay, when they're already open, it's too late. And when you do it like 1 month earlier, because because later I will be on holidays, it's too early, huh? It's too early, believe me. And you have the time here, come on. If you have 1,000 trees, 2,000 trees, it's not a big deal, huh? I mean, nice days, sunny days in February. I think it's February here, March. When is blooming time here in Kotkaj?
Late March.
Late March. Yeah, so it will be mid-Feb probably. Then it depends, it's not every year the same. Maybe you have an early season, a late season. And then also, everything starts from planting. If you plant the tree very deep, then it's almost a guarantee of too much vigor. So when we deliver our nice trees, you have always this like 18-20 centimeters of rootstock and 18-20 centimeters of roots on the total rootstock. So try to plant it a little bit higher. I mean, you have not so tough winters of -20, -30 degrees, where you say, oh fuck, maybe the tree is gonna die. No, I mean, it's a nice area. Okay, you have -5 probably, maybe -10 certain days, but that's it, I think. Not even probably. So, I mean, I would say this height is good. This is so. But sometimes also visiting other orchards here in the area, sometimes, I know it, you have workers, you have friends helping you, but keep an eye on that. Okay, so planting, watering, all is important, but the planting depth is very important. Because if they are very, very deep, it will result in vigor. And believe me or not, pushing a tree is easier than slowing down the tree. Huh? If it's not growing, you just give a little bit more of fertilizer, or you give a little bit of soil to the trees, and in like 1-2 years, it's done. But if you have really vigorous, almost trees that are planted like here, they always turn out into seedlings, because if you cover the rootstock and it's touching the variety will make roots, and then the rootstock is losing his functionality. So you know, you have an M9 tree, which will result in the seedling. So keep an eye on it. I know it's tough for a lot of workers, this and that, to look after everybody, but it's, if I can give you a suggestion, everything starts there with vigor. And if they are planted, especially during planting time, just push a little bit more, and you know, you can squeeze the soil. But yeah, that's more or less. Then every farmer, how to say, has not to do exactly what I'm saying. I'm happy if everybody of you just can take home 1-2 inputs and can try to adapt it to his own orchard. The other one has very vigorous, very weak orchards, old orchards, new orchards. Try to make some trials with irrigation, with fertilizer. Also try to completely skip fertilizer on one row. See what's happening. I mean, it's easy to read out from the books, but make your own experience in the orchard, okay? So try it. I mean, you will not lose your completely farm if 1 or 2 rows you skip completely fertilizer. You see the reaction. Maybe it's the key to success. Maybe it's exactly the best row, and you say, fuck, I should skip all the orchard with fertilizer. Again, fertilizer is not equal to success. It's helping a lot, but it always depends on your orchard. So you need fertilizer, macro, micronutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, manganese, whatever. But the amount of fertilizer tells you if you have success or not, okay? So in certain cases you need a lot of fertilizer because whatever happened, but in certain other cases maybe you just need little amounts of fertilizer. And again, very important, don't think that you need to reach the last wire in the second or in the third year. If you reach it, good, but it's not meaning I will crop 20 kgs per tree. Absolutely not. It's like having a 15-year-old boy that is 2 meters tall, doesn't mean that he is adult. Huh? That's now I try to compare it. I mean, okay, he looks tall, he looks adult, but he is not adult. We are not going into the details. You know what I mean? He's not adult. Once then you reach 18, 20, 25 years, you are mature. 30, 35, 40, okay? And the same is with the trees. I mean, you can crop even 150 apples on a tree, but then you will have cherries, not apples, okay? And you will have problems the year after. So let's go step by step. Let's meet again next year here. You will tell me your results in 2 years, in 3 years. Then maybe most of you that planted M9 will have 3-year-old M9, 4-year, 5-year, 7-year. And you will see by yourself. I know everybody of you wants immediate results, wants immediate kgs, apples, money, money, money. But reach your target step by step. Because if you want to reach it too fast, you fall down. Huh? And once you fall down on your nose, it hurts. I tell you that because we have 40-year experience with M9. Not 10, 40, okay? We started M9 in the late 80s. And I'm lucky that you can learn from us and you cannot make all the mistakes that we made. That's something nice. When we started with M9, we were not able to copy it from somebody else because it was the beginning for everybody. But you're now making a big jump because you're almost planting from seedling M9. We have done all the mistakes with 111, 106, 26, M7, whatever. We tried everything. Then we finally reached M9 in the late 80s. We have done mistakes with the M9. And now, I would say since 20 years, we really know how to manage M9. Okay, we have different orchards. We have it a little bit flatter, but who of you was already in Bolzano? Kunal was there many, many times. Knows that we have very steep orchards as well with M9. Maybe you have seen videos on YouTube or Facebook. So we have very steep orchards, but we know how to handle that. We know that big things are possible on N9. So really, we even have orchards that can crop 25 kg of first-class fruits. Okay, we have different planting distances because we have tractors, so we are not planting 7 or 8 feet row by row. We plant 10 feet, 11 feet, okay, 3 by 3. We are more or less between variety depending 2-3 feet, 3 from 3. So we can really reach even huge crops on them, believe me. But the secret is balance. So not too weak, not too vigorous. It's the same as in humans. Not too slim and not too big. The secret of having a healthy life is being like we all, huh? There is not one 200 kg guys here, okay? So it's the secret is being in balance. Having a good health, don't eat butter chicken every day, don't give nitrogen every day. It's the same. I know we are humans, these are plants, but the concept is the same. If we eat butter chicken and 1 bottle of whiskey every day, we will die in 6 months. Try to give nitrogen every day and every day 10 liters of water. The tree will probably not die because he will enjoy, because he will grow like I don't know, like a big bush, okay?
What about this? Do you have this green kind of mold on the trees? Should I do something about it or just let it?
I think that's the reaction of monsoon, of a lot of humidity, water. So honestly, we have the same sometimes with the drip irrigation when the dripper is exactly above the tree and the water is going down. So we have the same. But this is not a big deal because if you remove it, it's nicely, you see? It's not a big problem.
Do you spray something?
For this, no. We put the white color, and when we put the white color against, it's a multiple things. So we have it first of all because of rabbits. Then we have it of winter damages. That means if you have strange weather, also in Italy we have strange weather sometimes. Then in January 20 degrees plus, 2 days later 0 degrees. So the tree is like doing, what, it's spring or it's not spring, it's winter. So by having the white color also on the stem, it reflects the sun, so it's not burning your xylem and phloem. And what we also mix into this white color is sometimes captain or copper. So it turns out a little bit bluish, not really white. And also that maybe helps you for some, I mean, you do it once, add a little bit of copper, it can help for whatever problems you may have, like canker, like Phytophthora, like stuff like that. And what else?
Any fertilizer?
Now, but here not really needed. I would say if you're coming from a heavy crop and you have a balanced orchard, you can do an autumn fertilization, yes. Because it's scientifically proven that the nutrients that the tree will use in springtime is remobilization from autumn.
Should we irrigate this?
No.
If weather stays like this.
Okay, if weather stays like that for 60 days and no rain and just really sunny and nice, we can think about, but I think that it will rain sooner or later. This morning it was raining in Shimla.
Goes into dormancy, do we need water?
Not really.
What is the relevance?
It has to survive. The tree has to survive. So, if like we have then a desert, then I would say okay, irrigate, but it's not really needed. I mean,
Won't the trees restart if we water and it's hot 20 degrees? If we give water,
no, 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, it's not enough. If you have then like 2 weeks of plus 20, then maybe buds can swallow up 100%. But like 2 days of warm temperatures. I mean, I have been, in Australia we have a project as well with Dark Baron. They're also facing crazy temperatures sometimes in their winter. So it's the opposite. They are southern hemisphere, and sometimes it happens. South Africa the same. Huh? They have often plus 25 just for a couple of days, and nobody understands. But I would say not to be afraid of it. This is just some nothing really. I think it's coming off with the hand, you see.
What about the burnouts? How can we control them?
I would say it's not a big problem. You think it's a problem?
Maybe we have heard about.
Yeah, I have also heard about of new disease coming from Mars. Are you facing problems in your own orchard? Or I'm reading a lot in the books. It's all bullshit. I'm not saying this is everybody's talking about bullshit, but sometimes you need to really care about your own problems and not look out for the neighbors or tourists that are here or experts.
Do we need to remove them or?
No, don't touch them at all. No, no. The only thing you can remove is when you have some root sprouts, root suckers coming out. Okay, when it's in my opinion, when it's a nice and wet day with a wet soil, you can remove them very easily, even by scratching them up. Otherwise, you just use an old scissor and you cut into the soil. That's it. Why? Because if you do herbicides and sometimes you touch the root suckers, it can, I would say, not kill the tree, but it's not even good.
There is a problem that we are facing in red leaves specifically. It is with regards to its taste. Recently, the rates have slashed literally to half the price that we were getting one year.
The taste, you're saying?
Yes, it's really sour. The sweetness level is not up to the mark.
Yeah, but did you ever try to do a starch test? Because I will not offend nobody of you, but in my opinion, everybody of you is harvesting too early. You see the color, you see the money in the market. Let's harvest and make money. Again, I don't want to offend nobody, but we are the same. We are farmers. You see the money, empty market, nice apples, pick them, sell them, get the money. But the apples are not ripe. Try to do a starch test with Yod Kali. You cut the apple, you put this brownish black liquid on it. You know what I mean, huh? And then you see how much starch is in the apple, and probably, if I'm not wrong, the apples are, I would say, 70–80% black. Yeah, they are not ripe. It's a potato. You can do vodka with that. It's a potato. If you want, but you find it online everywhere. There are the starch tables. You know, there are three different types of ripeness. Okay, there's the ripeness for cold storage. That means, okay, I have to harvest it to keep it long in the cold storage because I want to sell it in Feb, in March, in April, whatever. Then there is the ripeness to harvest the apple, to put it on a truck. They will reach Delhi, Bombay, or whatever, and then they will be ready. And then there is the ideal ripeness for eating. Okay, that means I'm gonna take the apple from the tree and eat it the same day. Most of us will never wait until it's ripe for eating, because you have to ship it, I don't know, 3 days, 5 days by a little Mahindra reaching Chandigarh on the big truck going to big cities, whatever. So, you know, no cold chain, hot temperatures, so you cannot risk that. So you probably harvest it for the ideal ripeness, that once it reaches the shelf for the final consumer, it will be ready. But believe me or not, your apples are not mature.
This is not right.
Make another trial. Keep 3 rows, 1 week longer in your orchard, and the same customer that says that the apples are not good, tell him, come back in 1 week, you will eat delicious apples. Make the starch test, see how it's developing, because in some years, you know, maturity is very fast, and in some years it's very low. Okay, monsoon, good temperature, I would think about quick maturity, okay? But if you have good weather, cold temperature, and stable forecast, it will be a slow maturation.
How many days for the harvest you take from fruit sets?
First to the last,
Yes, from fruit sets.
from fruit set, yeah,
For
but
red delicious.
it can be somewhere. Listen, we have blooming time in April. We harvest in September. Okay, but early varieties, it's always like that. If you have an early season, the first varieties are really early, but then at the end, more or less, you cannot see real big differences. Because we have a 3 months harvest, so we start with really early galas, and we end up with club varieties like Pink Lady or Crimson Snow, which are not allowed to plant here, but that's in my case, in my specific case in Italy. And if you have a really early season, means that we can harvest gala maybe the first week of August. That means, oh, we are 2 weeks earlier. But at the end of the maybe you reach golden, it's maybe 5 days earlier. You reach grannies and Crimson Snow and Pink Lady and late varieties, you're more or less the same.
Does the nutrition also play a role in sweetness?
Sweetness.
Like we are using
There
acid?
are certain nutrients that they say they can play a game in this and that. But believe me, picking too early is the biggest problem. It's the biggest problem in peaches, in pears, in apricots, in everything. Back in the years when no nice coloring clones were available, everybody was waiting the color, and automatically the apple was mature. Now we have all these wonderful clones available. They are fully colored beginning of July. So come on, why waiting until August? Let's pick them and sell them. But this is the problem. If you do the starch test, also the new delicious, the new galas are fantastic. Picked at the right starch content.
With respect to the burnouts, I believe it provides an easy entry point for the borers.
Dogwood borers.
It can be, you can be right, yes. But if you are so afraid of that, then you can do a simple treatment with certain insecticides, and then you can sleep.
But still let them be.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Go there every day?
In the past, we've been removing them and painting them.
If you have the time, go ahead. But I would never suggest that, never. But if you tell me, no, I have 30% of problems with the borer and this, then yeah, please go. But I would never suggest to someone, please remove it 3 by 3 and paint them. It's easier to make an autumn treatment, a spray with a sprayer or whatever by hand or what you have available, and you kill insects.
What is the importance of grass in the middle? Does it play any role, or can we do away with grass at all?
Here, let's say, you don't have tractors. In our area, it's very important because you have to imagine if it rains a lot in springtime and you have to drive with a tractor, 1 time is okay, 2 times is okay. Once you drive the 3rd time, the tractor, it's all is destroyed. All the alley is destroyed. So grass helps you, absorbs water, keeps the alley nice, structured, and you can pass with your tractor. In your specific case, I would always keep grass because grass is important for beneficial insects, okay? A lot of insects are here that are important for the trees as well. So I would always suggest to keep like 20, 30 centimeters of herbicide strip and the rest keep the grass. Because, it's nice, and you have monsoon as well here, so grass helps you as well to have no, sledges going down.
So instead of grass, is there companion plants that one can take use of so that to help with the pest control, natural pest control? Because grass is basically
what you often can do is sow some specific grasses here that can bind nitrogen, can can be a natural fumigator like mustard, for instance. You plant it here, but then you have to work it with the soil, and then it will be a natural fumigator. But that's it, yeah. There are different grass types available. It depends. I mean, here you have not a problem of nitrogen. Maybe in 15 years, before planting a new orchard here, maybe he can decide, okay, let's plant mustard 1 year, okay, then I will work the soil nicely, it will be a natural fumigation, then I plant again the tree in the same row because I have the haylets and everything, then maybe I have no problems. Or maybe it's the success of being able to manage vigor. Maybe doing nothing, planting the tree in the same space, and then you have the right vigor. Could be, huh? I don't know. I mean, we are facing now the second, third generation of M9s, and slowly we have certain problems with replanting disease. But here not. I mean, here it's still first M9 generation.
Can Gala be stored in CA stores? How much shelf life it have?
Gala, if you want to come to my place, I'll show you Gala.
I'm talking
in
about
June.
India.
I'll show you Gala in June. So
There's something about
Galas can be stored nicely, perfectly in CA storage. You need to know how to do it, okay? I'm also not an expert in paragliding, but I'm an expert in apples. So if you know how to do it, you need a right facility, the right CA storages. You need to harvest in time, put them into. Nowadays you have Smart Fresh available, 1 MCP. You can easily store Gala from August until April, May. No problems. You take them out, they are super crunchy, juicy, sweet, perfect.
See, there are some plants I'm facing this problem where the growth this is about 6-8 inches. Now
That's great.
Now, in terms of pruning, how do we fix this? I mean, what should be our strategy for this year?
You cut it here.
Okay.
So you stimulate, you call for growth.
Right. So we hope that will stimulate it to go up.
Yeah, but this is perfect. Eh?
Okay. I was worried actually.
No, this is perfect.
Okay.
What you said, it's like 6, 7,
About 8 inches.
8 inches of contract here. Yeah, 20 centimeter, 20, 30. Yeah, it's okay. I say 30, 40 is good.
Right.
So maybe 3 inches more, that's great.
Right.
That's
So
super.
the only way to stimulate,
What is
would be to
this?
Cut it. This is Gala.
Gala, M9.
Gala on M9. So
That's perfect.
okay.
And probably full of buds.
Yeah. Thanks.
What, you have problems with storage?
No, we have ample of storages here. But we had risk. No one has stored Gala here.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
you
I'm
have
asking.
CA storage because
Yeah.
sometimes you think you have a CA storage and it's not. It's a simple fridge. It's a CA storage.
Proper CA store.
What does it mean, CA?
Proper refrigeration.
Yeah, at which
Proper
degrees, at which
pressure.
yeah, which CO2 content, which oxygen.
Yeah.
You need to give me an answer. You cannot store red delicious with Gala.
There are different chambers for that.
Every variety has his own perfect values.
It's got to be in separate chambers?
100%.
Okay.
Red delicious Gala. Believe me, I would like to go on the toilet with women. No, I'm joking, but 100%. You can store them in the same fridge. If you say in the next 5 days I'm gonna sell everything, you can put bananas inside. I mean, even if banana is the worst friend of apple, huh? But for 3 days, it's changing nothing. If you want to store that for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, make single chambers. And when you are designing chambers, you need to know what I'm going to store them. And according to that, you design them with 300 tons, 150 tons, 100 tons, whatever the size is. Okay? I mean, if your crop is 200 tons, I'm just saying numbers, of Galas, and you design a chamber of 500 tons, what do? You understand? Therefore, all our cold storages, we exactly know that in like 3 to 4 days, we're gonna fill it up and close it. You cannot have to wait 3 weeks until the chamber is, because then the first apples will rot, they go on, huh? So it's not easy. Oh, I have the money, I buy a CA storages, and then I'm no. You need to think always.
That's a good point.
That's
because I
That's a
don't
big
think
problem
this has been thought of or applied
once
in the
you
local
design,
conditions.
and I'm not an expert
know, we
in,
need to
in
look at the
storage,
data.
but I know a lot because we have. I mean, we have also CA storages. You have to think about that, and we know for our area, 300-ton storages chambers are the best.
Yeah, I mean, you've got it with your co-ops. So
Yeah.
So that's,
So my co-op, we have 50,000 tons CA storages. It's huge. Great.